Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's 10About Town podcast. I'm Brittany Bailey, and we are just sailing through August. We've been talking about plenty of events, but another big one is coming up in just a couple of weeks. We are talking about the 13th annual Knox Asian Festival, and Kumi Alderman is here to talk more about this, marking 13 years. That's lucky 13, right?
Yes. Thank you.
Let's first talk about how this festival came about all those years ago.
Oh, okay. 13 years ago, first of all, we were thinking, what can we do for the community first? Then we came out the idea. Long time ago. This is a long story. I had to make it short. So I was a tour guide at in Tokyo. And I took Japanese group all over the world for several years. And at that time, I met so many people through the festival. And the festival is the right, the form to make a good friends. Yeah. So I knew it. And then also when we were here, everybody were like, okay, how can we, make it, more Asian culture visible? And then they said, oh, maybe we'll do it. We have a good food. We have everything. So we decided to have the festival, form of the introduction. Mm-hmm. And then we opened, I think in 2014. It was the first festival. 5 country booths and 15 food and everything. So 20 booths at the Crutch Park, at the small parking, on the Gay Street. Yeah. And we had about 3,000 people at the time. So we were like, wow, people love our food and culture. We did it first year. Then next year we moved, we were same place plus Market Square. Mm-hmm. And then we grew, twice as many people start coming every year. So by the time number 6 finished, I think everybody said that this is too small on the Market Street. Yeah. So we were looking for where we can go. And then one of our sponsor, actually airport, Metropolitan Airport sponsor told me, he said he went to the real World Fair 40 years ago. And then he said, Kumi, your festival, reminds him World Fair, when he went 40 years ago. So he said, move to the World Fair Park. And then at the time, I did not know a lot about the World Fair Park. And he introduced me and then went there. And then it used to be World Fair is too far away from the downtown. Yeah. Nobody was there. But we took a chance with his advice and then we moved the World Fair. I think that was the 6th Asian Festival. And then since then, we've been, World Fair. This year, we will have 14 country pavilion and 60 food vendors. Wow. And then 100 commercial makers. And then 3 stages of the performance all day long. So we are so happy to share more, Asian culture here.
Well, you mentioned the food, so let's first talk about the food. What are some of the unique food items people can find at this year's fair?
Yes, this year's real authentic food fair. The first one is Zenno from Japan. They are the sponsor. And then Zenno is bringing the 100% Japan-made Wagyu beef. And this is actually first time. There are many Wagyus made in USA, but they're bringing from Japan. And this Wagyu is melting so good. So hope everyone can enjoy it. And also there's another one, Japanese pizza, okonomiyaki. Have you heard it?
No.
Okay. Okonomiyaki is a Japanese street food. Oh. Hiroshima and Osaka, they have a 2 style. In the Hiroshima style, you make a crepe and then put the cabbage, bean sprout noodle, and then pork, whatever you want on top of it, and then kind of flip it. It's like a pancake, vegetable pancake with a sweet sauce. We call otafuku sauce. And then Osaka is just mix up with the vegetable and then, make a, veg pancake. But those two, the California companies coming to cook authentic Japanese style of okonomiyaki. So hope everybody can enjoy that. And then also we have a happy song. It's making a Korean corn dog. This is very popular.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
They are very popular. Yes, I have.
Yes. And also India Delight. They are making Indian street food. I shouldn't pronounce it. But they're real street food. I don't think we have ever had this one. So yeah, if they can go to the India Delight on a food vendor, you can have the street food.
So basically, come hungry to the festival.
Yes,
there will
all
be
day
plenty
long.
to eat. And then, you have some fun performers who are coming and entertainers, right?
Yes. We're so excited to invite 7 Japanese drummer, Matsuriza. They play drum at the Disney World, and they're coming. Cool. 7 of them coming, so it's gonna be a beautiful music festival. And then also Japanese harp player. It's from Columbus, Ohio, where you're from.
Yes.
And then also Japanese bamboo flute. He trained in Japan 6 years, and he just came back to Nashville. So he's coming to play Japanese bamboo flutes called shakuhachi. And also Korean fan dancers. This is, part of the Asian festival already. It's beautiful Korean fan dancers. And then also Indian dancers are professional. And it's a lot of performers, 3 stages all day long.
And then you also have a special guest coming in, the UT Bar owner.
Yes, Tennessee Bar in Tokyo. Yoshi is coming. He agreed to join our festival, and I'm so excited. So when he decided Tennessee Whiskey Trail, they decided to bring 15 Tennessee-made whiskey company to the Asian Festival. So you can taste Tennessee whiskeys, 15 of them at the festival. And then you can meet Yoshi from Tennessee Bar from 2:30 to 3:30 at the festival. So hope you can come, and then say hello.
And so for most of the day, you can sort of wander around, try different foods and different performers. You mentioned a specific time for Yoshi. Are there any other specific times people should know about where something's only happening at a certain time and they should definitely be there for that?
Oh, okay. Well, maybe people can go to the knoxasianfestival.com, and then you can go to info and then go to the performer schedule. That performer schedule sometimes only one time performing. So you can just pick. I think that's what I suggest. You go to the knoxasianfestival.com, click the performer schedule, and then pick what you really want to see at the time. Then you can go to the food vendor information. Then you can pick where they are. Then you can kind of,
create your own menu. That's what I'll do.
Plan. Yes.
And, just going back from the beginning where we talked about it sort of being a little smaller at Crouch Park, and now it's grown so much and has been at World's Fair Park. What do you think about the growth over the years and how you've seen it grow and the popularity of it?
I think the East Tennessee, we really appreciate, first sponsors. They support us, from the beginning, like a Denso company. They support us from day one. They said, yes, let's do it. And then also we have a Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Bristol. They just signed up 3 years supporting system. So we have lots of supporters in the community from the companies, and also people dancing, like performers. And then vendors, actually, they're the part of a big festival, and then also volunteers. And then we really appreciate the community that they just open their heart, and then they just enjoy and then, become friends. That's what our mission is. Our mission is to create a welcoming community in, East Tennessee, and then also educate the younger generation to be a global citizen. So we do in a fun way to do this, mission. Yes.
And we want to mention the fun way that you're commemorating some of the memories over the years, right? Talk about the photo album.
Oh, yes. This year is 13th, which is we finished 12 years. In the Asian country, 12 years is one cycle of the life. So you see those animals, right?
Yeah.
When you go to Chinese restaurant, you see the animals. Yeah.
Like the year of the snake or the dragon.
Yes, that's a 12 years. And we finished 12 years. So festival is beautiful, and then people, have a good memory. I still remember the people smiling, and kids and parents, but those are happened that time and then not recorded, right? So we thought maybe we should keep this memory to remind us every day that, why we're doing this. we're creating welcoming community, plus, making friends with each other. Our goal is to connect people to people. So that 12 years memory book will show by pictures. So we made a photo book, 12 years, Knox Asian Festival. You can get that in the Asian Festival. So hope people can come and take a look at it.
Well, before we let you go, can you remind us again exactly what day, what the hours are, what the cost might be, all of that?
Okay. Before that, can I talk about the 35th anniversary,
yes,
Sister
absolutely.
City?
Yeah.
This year is the Sister City 35th anniversary. And then Muroran and then Knoxville become a sister city 35 years ago with Mayor Ash, with Professor Paul Watkin and Shigeko. They went there and then signed Sister City. Since then, Muroran City is sending middle school students to Cedar Bluff Middle School for 35 years. And then we, actually, Cedar Bluff Middle School, started sending kids for the homestay program about 6 years ago. So we're getting more closer and closer. And then Mayor Rohero, Mayor Kinkiano actually visited this recent years. So Mayor Aoyama is just so excited. He wants to come and celebrate with the 17 delegation. So hope, people come in and say hello to them.
All right. Now let's remind folks when exactly and what the times are and anything they need to know before they come out that day.
So 13th Knox Asian Festival. It is August 30th, Sunday, starting 10:30 to 6:30. But the parade starts 10:15. So if you would like to see everyone in a costume, come early, maybe 10 o'clock. Then 10:15, we're going to start parade until 6:30. We will have a lots of activities. So hope everyone join us.
It's going to be a great time, I'm sure. Again, Kumi, thank you so much. Always good to see you.
Thank you.
Now we want to talk about another cultural event that's happening in North Knoxville. You can tour Germany without leaving East Tennessee at this weekend's German Fest Knoxville. The event is described as a place where German culture meets Southern hospitality. First Lutheran Church in North Knoxville will host that event August 22nd, starting at 11 in the morning and going into the early evening. The activities include a German car show, Oompa bands, a marketplace, and a ton of yummy German food, and also dachshund races. First Lutheran is located at 1207 Broadway in Knoxville. Tickets are $5 and available on the German Fest Knoxville website.
I'm Michelle Silva in for Brittany Bailey, and we're talking about the American Heart Association's Heart Walk, which is coming up in September. We're all excited. We have Mindy Savage, the Heart Walk director, and Stacy Bogus, who is the senior development director for the Heart Association. Good welcome. Thanks for being here, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
First of all, let's talk about the American Heart Association. Oh, I'm so tongue-tied. What exactly do you do?
Yeah, well, the American Heart Association, we are mission-based, and our mission is for people to live longer, healthier lives. We were founded in 1924 by 6 cardiologists because there was a problem. People were dying from heart disease, and they couldn't figure out why. So we are largely a research organization because research saves lives. And then we work in the community doing a lot of things behind the scenes.
Yes.
We've made a lot of progress, but unfortunately heart disease is still the #1 killer of Americans, and so we've got a lot of work to keep doing.
Yeah. And what tips, we're going to get to the walk in just a moment, but what can we let women know, okay, this is what you need to do to stay heart healthy?
Wow, I think one thing that we all know is sleep. Are we getting enough sleep? And that is so hard to do. Another thing that we know it really affects our lives and our hearts is stress, managing that. A lot of people choose to go for a walk. Just go for a walk in nature. No headphones, just enjoy it. That's a stress reliever. What do you
Well, and
do,
you say
Stacey?
walk, Mindy. Physical activity is also important too. How we're fueling our body and how we are moving our body. So we encourage people to eat a diet that has a variety of colors. Right, the more colorful it is, the better it probably is for your heart health.
Wonderful. And are there any new statistics, any new research or information coming out about I guess heart health? You know, we hear something different. It seems every year, like oh, it's okay to drink wine. Oh, it's okay to have 10 cups of coffee. And it's just like, what do you believe? And, what do you drink? What do you eat? And you just said have a colorful plate, but there's so much information that comes out. Anything new, I guess I'm asking.
Well, research is constantly changing and evolving, but one thing we do know is 1 in 4 men die from some form of cardiovascular disease. And listen to this, ladies, 1 in 3 women die from some form of cardiovascular disease. So that has been one of the most staggering statistics for us to work through, and why we're so passionate about getting the word out about those signs and symptoms and what we can do to help our heart health. So that's really the most staggering thing for me.
And I think knowing your numbers, right? So being aware of, what is my blood pressure? What does my cholesterol look like? Some recent findings, the blood pressure guidelines changed in the past year or two, and you can see all of that information at heart.org.
And what are some signs and symptoms?
Yeah, well, it really varies in men and women. Men typically get that classic chest pain. I've heard people say it feels like an elephant on their chest. They get the arm pain. A lot of them will get reflux, what they feel is like reflux or nausea a few days before. And then for women
can have some of those same symptoms, but present usually differently. It can feel like a headache, the nausea. Some of us, that might just feel like Tuesday, right? Extreme fatigue is another one in women that you really need to be watching out for.
All right, but one way you said is walking to stay heart healthy. So tell us about the upcoming walk.
We are so excited for the Heart Walk this year on Saturday, September 12th. Mindy, tell us where we're going to be this year.
We are going to be at Covenant Health Park.
Woo!
We are excited to be at the home of Smokies Baseball downtown, and what that means is we get to be on the field of the stadium. So that's pretty new. We're going to start our walk on the field of the stadium. We're going to walk out the outfield through downtown Knoxville and return to the stadium. So we're really getting back to that walking together, and I think everybody really wants to be together, talk together, meet each other. So we're excited about the walk.
That sounds like fun. So I guess right now you need walkers to sign up. Do they need to raise money as well?
Well, it takes money to fund our mission. However, the walk is free. Something very important about the walk is we've reimagined it to be more than just a one-day event. We are inviting the community members of Knoxville, again, it's a free walk, to come out and move from bystander to lifesaver. Our goal with the Heart Walk is for every single person that's there to learn hands-only CPR. Hands-only CPR saves lives. And why we're so passionate about that is we know that 9 out of 10 people that suffer an out-of-hospital cardiac arrest will die. Many times it's because no one performs CPR. So we want people to come to the Heart Walk to learn hands-only CPR, go out into the community, and we have a Knoxville community filled with lifesavers. So that's something that really excites me, bringing that mission to life.
Like Mindy said, the walk is free, and it's free for all ages. There's activities for all ages, all abilities. We've got activities that'll be set up as early as 7:30. So bring the family out, bring your friends out. It's going to be a really great time.
Okay. So you need participants, you need sponsors or volunteers for help at this point?
Yes, we absolutely do need volunteers, and you can find out about volunteering or more information on the walk at greaterknoxvilleheartwalk.org. Our email is there, and we'd love to have you volunteer.
And you can sign up there too.
Yeah, sign up.
Yes, it's a great time to get out and see Knoxville Covenant Health Park where the Smokies play. We are talking about the annual Heart Walk. For more information, one more time, the website?
greaterknoxvilleheartwalk.org.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you so much, Mindy. Thank you so much, Stacy. And now here's Brittany with another event going on in the area.
High school football is back this week, and one of the top faces bringing you all the action of these games, of course, is Mark Packer, and he's joining us now to talk about the Rivalry games. We've got not only Rivalry Thursday, but Rivalry Friday. So much rivalry, a big football season on
and
the way.
Kickoff Classic on Saturday.
Yes.
Nobody ever called me smart. We used to just do the one game a week. I have figured out what 3 in 1 week, what kind of mountain that is to climb. But it's always a fun time of year just to get high school football. You know, my wife and I were talking recently about what is it that we actually do as a business? What is it that our company does? And she said, I think we do community events. They just happen to be football games. because how many events bring thousands of people together to support their town and their school and their community, like high school football. And so it's a heck of a lot of fun.
Certainly. And I mean, here in East Tennessee, there's nothing better than a high school football game. I think a lot of people would agree with that. Let's start off. We want to talk about a little bit about the season.
Sure.
But the big first game is Bearden West, right?
Bearden West is the Friday game. Now, we do have a Thursday game,
Right.
and all 28 games on WBIR Plus, and then also on TV on WKNX, the Knox. But the Friday and Saturday games will be on WBIR, which is a huge honor for me. It's not just an incredible platform. It's an honor for me because, this is where I came to Knoxville in 1996. So for Powell and Anderson County Thursday, that's a huge rivalry game, two defending region champions. West and Bearden, both needing to get off the schneid, had bad 2025s. Both have a lot of hope. And then Saturday is our big kickoff classic, CAK in Concord. And as crazy as it sounds, the Saturday game, I've been as excited about this event as about anything I've ever done in my career.
And let's talk about it because you're sort of elevating this. It's not just about the game that day.
No, it's kind of like I've always said about a hockey game. I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out. That's kind of what Saturday is going to be a little bit, in the sense of we're doing an event for Second Harvest Food Bank, and there's going to be a football game going on. Jimmy Dykes of ESPN is going to stop off and be a part of the broadcast for a little bit. That's going to be cool. Axle Logistics is making a $10,000 donation to Second Harvest live on the air. Concord and CAK are coming together for cans for Second Harvest. 5 cans will get you into the game. Don't have to buy a ticket. Bring 5 cans, you can get in. We're going to have about 700 kids playing flag football at the adjacent fields at Concord. It will truly be a community event on Saturday. Weather looks great. I probably just jinxed it. I think it'll be an AB day. So we're looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun on Saturday.
And why did you decide to do that? And take it above a normal game that you would just sort of focus on the game.
It's almost like the story of the talents in the Bible to me. God has blessed me with an incredible platform. God has blessed me with a production unit that's ESPN approved. We do games for ESPN, and it's right here in Knoxville. God has blessed me with this partnership with WBIR and with our 18th year of doing high school football. If we don't give back to the people, then I feel like that it is like the talent in the Bible that we're just burying it. We have got to multiply that, and so to have the churches come on board for Concord and CAK and the community to help feed our hungry almost gets me emotional because we're all going to have a legacy when we're done here in this life. And was the legacy that we buried the talent, or was the legacy that we did everything we could with what God blessed us with? This is a big Saturday, not just for us, but for me, because to know the difference that we can make this Saturday, and to come up with at least $10,000 for Second Harvest, and maybe 10,000 cans or 20,000, whatever it is we come up with, I'm going to leave there that day knowing that we've done good.
So we've talked about the good that we can do in the community. Let's talk a little football now.
Yeah.
So we talked about some of the first games, but how do you, by the way, decide which games are going to be the rivalry games that you'll cover each week?
I will go ahead and say this on record, that everybody thinks that I get to just call schools and say, hey, we're going to be there. And it is a business for a lot of the schools. And so I do have to have good relationships and conversations with athletic directors and head coaches. We're in a different time of sports right now. It's not just college with NIL and transfer portal. It's now filtering into high school. So there is a PR component for schools to need the exposure. There are some that see it in a way that they consider this to be great exposure, and there's some that say we need you to pay a whole lot of money to put our product on TV. So I have to balance that. I try to find the game that I think the most people are going to say during the day on a Thursday or Friday, hey, who's on TV tonight? And then they go, oh, that's a game I want to watch. Rather than, well, at least there's an NFL game tonight.
Yeah.
So I have to balance that, which is why you see sometimes you will have a team on there 2 or 3 times. Powell has a really good football team. They've got some really marquee games. They're on there 3 times. And that's just kind of the way that it works out sometimes. So I try to spread it around as much as I can, but I'll also try to have games that people want to watch.
Well, speaking of, you mentioned Powell being a great team. What are some of the matchups looking ahead even that you think are going to be great ones
just
to
kind of
watch?
stick out a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, week number 1 is what we've talked about Powell, Anderson County, Weston, Bearden, and Seacan Concord. I love the Friday game in week 2, which is Gibbs and Halls. It's a great rivalry game. I look at Sevier County at Greenville as a game, 2 teams that will both be top 5 in the state. Sevier County and Grace. Grace has got their program rolling. That's going to be just great football. Week 11, last week of the season, we have Maryville at Oak Ridge. Both of those teams will be either 9-0 or 8-1, depending on how the Maryville-Alcoa game goes for Maryville. Does Oak Ridge make their way? They've got Malik Howard, big wide receiver, tight end for Oak Ridge, committed to Tennessee. That's a great atmosphere. Have not finalized our Friday game in week 11. Still working on that. But there's a lot of games. Powell and Central could be for a region title. So there's some games that kind of get me jazzed up that's going to be more than just a community event. That's going to be an important football game.
For people who maybe haven't come out in person to one of the games, which they don't have to because they can watch, right? But
Sure.
what would you describe as the atmosphere at these games?
They're all
specifically?
different.
Yeah.
They're all different. You know, there's something fun about when we have Teleco Plains at Eagleton, and that's a Friday game. There's something fun about Coalfield and Greenback.
Yeah.
The last time we went to Greenback, we pulled a pickup truck. We backed it up to the fence around, and our broadcast booth was out of the bed of a pickup truck. Well, now they got a press box. But the people in the small towns, they love the fact that you're there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you know, when you do 10 tailgate and you go to the smaller towns and they're so appreciative that you're there. Some of the bigger ones, I think, kind of sometimes take you for granted. Oh, well, there's TV over there.
Right.
So you got to balance it a little bit. But some of the games go down to the wire, and some of them we're just having a good community event.
Well, if people want to find out where they can watch all 3, Rivalry Thursday and Friday and the Saturday kickoff, where can they find the information and where can they watch?
Everything's available on WBIR Plus. I know everybody's happy for me to say that here. Every other phrase is you can find it on WBIR Plus.
Which you can download on your TV and watch for free.
I got to figure out how to say that. WBIR Plus, they're all on our Rivalry Thursday YouTube channel. But then TV, they're on 26 of the 28 are on the Knox, which is Channel 7. And then 2 are on WBIR. And then we do playoffs all the way through, state championships, our all-star game, 28 local broadcasts. And then we produce all the state championship, which is 9 more, and then 10 basketball. So I don't know where to tell you to watch. There's all kinds of places you can find us.
Basically, if you can't find you, you're not doing something right.
Yeah, the digital age is so different than it used to be. You know, we used to just pull a live truck up next to and just send a shot out and we were good on TV.
Right.
And now you got to have one for TV, one for digital, one for that digital, one for this digital, and it's a different day.
Well, we will find you somewhere, and we can't wait to kick off the season. It's going to be a great one, it sounds like.
Sounds good. 3 games in 3 nights. Could we convince Todd and Mike and all those, could we convince them to please not have a night like we had of weather Monday night?
You're going to have to get Todd in on that one. I know he doesn't like to make promises like that, though. But
does he have the direct phone to Mother Nature?
I know he wishes he does. But hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll all
Thanks
go
for having
well.
me in.
Of course, thanks
Appreciate
for coming. And we talked a little bit about this, but we want to talk more now about 10 Tailgate, which is going to happen weekly with these games. The excitement on the field below those Friday night lights is just a part of the excitement for this season's 10 tailgate matchups, but there is much more happening off the field each week. That's because the students at each school will be in a head-to-head competition called Tackling Hunger. Each week, the students, faculty, and staff of each school will collect cans of food to go to Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee. But as an extra point, there's an online competition for each school as well. You have the full week to support your favorite school by making a donation to Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee on your team's behalf. We are so excited for our 10 tailgates this football season. And along with that, we are bringing back Tackling Hunger with Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee. And here, joining us more to talk more about that is Marvin Figgins. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for
So
having
let's
me.
talk about what Tackling Hunger is. How does this work?
Yeah, so it's really about taking something East Tennessee already loves, which is high school football, and using that to rally communities around hunger and fighting hunger insecurity in East Tennessee.
And you can do that by we pit the schools against each other in a good way. They're going to
Yeah.
be competing on the field, but also off the field. They're going to raise money and also donations. So let's talk about the two prongs of this.
Yeah, so like you said, friendly competition. The schools, they collect canned goods throughout the week, so they get a week to kind of see who can gather the most cans, and it's usually, sometimes it's business helping, parents, alumni, all of the things, and that's the physical side of the food drive. At the end of the week, we'll weigh the totals and see who came out on top. As for the virtual food drive, that's where you can kind of see your dollar stretch a little further. Since we're a four-star charity, we use 95% of each dollar that we get and use that towards our food initiative. So $1 through Second Harvest equals $5 worth of groceries. Basically, $1 donation, you can take that to the grocery store and cover $5 worth of things in terms of our purchasing power.
And that's why I know we've said it before, but it's always a good reminder that monetary donations can mean so much more because you're able to stretch that dollar further. Not that you're turning away anyone who wants to bring in some canned food items, but that's maybe the way to go if you had a preference.
For sure, yeah.
And so that's what's going to be happening during football season. How we've done this, this is going to be the third year doing this, right?
Yes.
And so how successful has it been in the past?
So last year we had about 22 schools and we brought in just under $30,000, which is huge. That alone, can help help power so many of our different programs, especially when it comes to like food for kids and senior outreach. We also, I think we had a total of just under 10,000 pounds collected, and that's from all of the schools. So that provided about 96,000 meals.
Wow.
Yeah, and that, we do about 74,000 meals a day when it comes to, our annual reporting. So that, that's a huge lift for us, and to have it done within the community and, all through the fun of high school football is amazing.
And let's talk more about some of those programs. So one of the programs that you mentioned, and I think one that many people are familiar with, is the Food for Kids program. How does that work?
Yeah, so we partner with over 300 schools, and we're able to feed about 15,500 students a week. Basically every Friday before kids go home, the children in our Food for Kids program, they get a weekly bag that has about 9 items in it, 4 meals, 4 snacks, and then a milk. That alone is huge because basically students, they can't rely on school lunch when they're not in school. So over the weekend, that kind of helps bridge them over and keeps them fueled for Monday because, we all know how hard it is to function on an empty stomach. So, having a student do that in school is hard. And I'm saying that from experience too. Like, it's hard to focus. It's hard to learn. It's hard to do all the things you need to do in school when you don't have food on your stomach.
And it might be hard for some folks here in our community to understand that this is a reality for probably many more young children in our area than they even realize, where sometimes their only meals and the only food they get is at school.
Yep.
And so that's why this program is so important. Is there a story that sticks out in your mind at all that's tied to this program?
Well, I had the opportunity to one event that I always like outside of Second Harvest that we partner with is Shoes for School. Yeah. So we were just like you guys at Shoes for School this couple weekends ago, and a lot of the students that we were passing out food to, we had a few of them that just recognized the bags and were like, "Oh, I get these every Friday. I get these every week in school." And just the familiarity for a child to kind of like see that and recognize it as what we would think is like a lifeline for some it was kind of touching to see so many students feel that impact that we try so hard to make. And like I said, to see it firsthand, to hear it touched me.
And then kind of on the other end of the spectrum, I guess you also mentioned the senior outreach programs that you have. How do those work?
Yeah, so we have a lot of homebound seniors. We have seniors that that aren't able to meet the need of filling their cabinets. And as far as the homebound ones, we have partner agencies that help distribute food to those shut-in seniors. And I actually got an opportunity to meet a few of them, and a lot of them are in these rural areas, like way up in haulers that, like I said, they don't have the means to get out and to join us at some of our distributions. So it helps a lot for us to be able to reach those shut-in seniors as well. And then a branch to that is we have Harvesting Hope, which is one of our other food programs where we partner with farmers and local farms that help distribute food in their neighborhoods. And a lot of the seniors in senior outreach, they get some of those farm, locally grown fresh products, and it's meat, dairy, produce, all of the things that everyone needs, like on a nutritional value. Right. So that's huge to be able to not only reach our students with that, but our seniors as well.
And it seems to me that you have been trying to do a bit more outreach in some of those areas. I feel like we've done stories about new mobile food pantries. How is that program working, and are you expanding that? Yeah,
so we recently, believe it or not, we've never before this year had mobile distributions in Sevier County. So that was one of the most recent ones we were able to add to our 18 county service area. Sevier County obviously has already been in that service area, but it was just one of those that we weren't having mobile distributions in, so we were able to expand that, and that's happening monthly now. Yeah. Sorry, I lost my train of thought right there.
No, yeah, we were talking about the mobile, but you bring up the 18 county service area,
right,
which Sevier County has been a part of, but this mobile pantry is new too. But let's remind folks about the need that is out there. I mean, you're serving children and people of all ages throughout an 18 county service area. That's a tough job. That requires a lot of work, volunteers, donations, all of that, right?
Yeah, nearly 230,000 neighbors in East Tennessee are experiencing food insecurity. So that's about 1 in 6. Even for the 18 counties, in terms of football, one number that stuck out to us while we were kind of going over our square miles that we cover, it's about 3,872,000 football fields that we cover worth of square miles that we were reaching people. And like you said, we need a huge help from the community with that, multiple communities, obviously with that 18 counties. So volunteering is something that we're very grateful to have. We have so many volunteers every week, and I think that it equals out to about 15 full-time employees with the amount of hours that we get from our volunteers. So that's huge for us as well. But yeah.
And so you can always use more volunteers, I imagine, if people want to get involved.
Yeah.
And then what is the need like right now? I know, we've been talking about certain federal programs being cut, food programs specifically. How have you seen the need grow at Second Harvest because of some of these outer factors?
Yeah, so even with the amount of, like I said, 27 million pounds of food annually is what we distribute, and that's still only covering about 52% of the need. 46% of our neighbors that we do serve make too much money to be eligible for SNAP. So we have to reach them as well. And then even those with SNAP, you know, that they also probably still need help at some capacity. So like you said, the need is great. And if someone can't, you know, make monetary donations or actual physical food donations, we're open to volunteering as well. A lot goes into our volunteer shifts. We have people packing and sorting items and packaging items weekly that go out to our our monthly distribution. So if you can't help monetarily, like, that's fine. We would love a volunteer. We would love a new face. We would love people to kind of learn about what we do and why the mission matters, and help in any way that they can.
And if people want to find out more information about volunteering or maybe 10 Tailgate and how to donate for tackling hunger, where can they go to find that information?
secondharvestetn.org. And we're also approaching Hunger Action Month on September 1st. So we're looking to rally as many people as we can to kind of make a good first month to the giving season. Like, not only are we kicking off 10 Tailgate, but like I said, Hunger Action Month is right upon us, and that'll be kicking off just shortly after.
All right, lots of way to help our community, that's for sure. Thank you so much for being here and chatting with us. And thank you for joining us for this week's 10 About Town podcast. And remember, you can always catch 10 About Town weekdays at 4 on Channel 10. We have more streaming for you coming up right after this.